The enigma exists only because what is fragmented is not whole. The understanding that accompanies what has been divided also forms part of a greater comprehension. If there is a part, there is no longer a whole. Something is only what it is, because it belongs to a greater structure. Each fragment of a whole contains elements that, to a greater or lesser degree, are present in the other parts that separated. A part is characterized by the sum of the elements that also fragmented and began to compose the partitioned whole. Good and evil can only be identified because they derive from something that, initially, possessed no defined characteristics. When the book establishes a scale to divide vices and virtues, placing the highest virtue at one end and the greatest vice at the other, it merely highlights the way separations occur to form different species. The existence of what is inside and what is outside is perfectly understandable. What is to the right or to the left is outside, just as what is in front or behind, above or below. What exists in completeness can only be understood through the movement between the interior and the exterior, never through shifting to the left or right, forward or backward, upward or downward. Individualization is a partial understanding. But within this understanding lies the recognition that all are parts, and that each part carries a fragment of the other parts. This is what gives meaning to the idea of fraternity, to the need for gathering, union, and divinity. To cease being a part and become the whole introduces the figure of unity. This is exactly what individual thought seeks when it associates with other thoughts. To reach unity by arriving at the single thought. Visiting the interior of the earth is nothing more than pulsating inward, where the understanding of the whole occurs. Only pulsation inward is capable of bringing what is outside to the inside. The inexplicable force of gravity and the imposing presence of black holes are perfect allegories that science offers to reinforce the understanding of the whole and the center that promotes reintegration. Their immense gravitational force causes everything outside to disappear within. Even light, which originally belongs to the exterior, is drawn in and extinguished, for its existence is only necessary to make what is outside perceptible. The perceived universe exists outside the being, while that being occupies the center of the universe. By turning inward and absorbing the force of all forces, it generates an immense gravitational force, transforming itself into a black hole that draws to itself the universe that was once outside. Upon reintegrating the universe, the being re-emerges in omnipotence and omniscience. The idea of reintegration as a path to omnipotence and omniscience resonates with many spiritual and mystical traditions. The being that becomes the whole not only acquires absolute knowledge, but also the force that sustains existence itself. Gods is what you are.